Jesus, that fucking took ages to load. Anyway, so I actually record, recorded my review of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1 and 2 like 2 weeks ago, but I only uploaded 2 the other day. So back onto the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. Today I'm going to be doing a movie review on Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Okay. Basically, the plot of this movie is got this young couple. They aren't getting along that well. They're traveling through Texas or whatever, and pretty much they drive to this fucking place where a crime scene is after happening. A bunch of people died, and the news reporter is actually played by the woman that played Stretch in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I don't think it's the same character, but maybe it is. But yeah, they had her in it and they couldn't even bring her character back, which is just bullshit. So essentially, while traveling to Texas, they hit an armadillo, and then your woman goes, "Sorry, little guy," and puts the armadillo out of its misery, which is foreshadowing something that will happen later on in the movie. So they stop at a gas station. There's a guy that's a complete and utter fucking weirdo who's like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "Oh, I want to take a photo of you. I want to sell a photo of you. Oh, you like," and he's fixing the car. He's like, "Oh, you like it real good," and stuff like that. And the girl has to use the bathroom, and he's being a creep and looking through a hole and listening to her go to the toilet. And then you got this handsome motherfucker who is basically flirting with the main character, like, "Oh, I'd be happy if I," like, he says something like, "Oh, like he says something really flirty," and basically they pissed him off. They start shooting at him. The truck drives off. They drive in a weird direction, and then they decide to fucking drive the truck after them and throw an animal at it, causing it to crash. So they end up being abandoned, and they go out into the woods. Who is in the woods? None other than my boy Leatherface, who starts chasing after them. Then we got a guy played by Ken Foray, who's driving, and there's a woman that was being attacked by Leatherface at the beginning of the movie, and she ends up the other two. This woman gets killed by Leatherface, and then pretty much most of the movie then as they walk through the woods, Leatherface ends up chainsawing the guy, the fucking boyfriend, bring him back to the house. We have a twist that the fucking blondie dude is part of the family. The woman ends up getting kidnapped and tied up for a dinner table where we have a woman who talks in like a robot voice. We've Leatherface who gets this new chainsaw at the end as a gift. We've a little girl who's like a ventriloquist bitch, and she's actually in Friday the 13th Part 7. This other blonde dude. And basically, Ken Foray has to go in and stop them. And I'm pretty much summing up the movie, really. And she has to try and escape Leatherface, stop him, and all that shit. Okay. Now, I will say, this is a pretty good movie. However, definitely a gigantic step back from the first two. This goes to being a little bit more serious, just like the first one. You know, a bit like the first one. For the most part, my favorite part of the movie is Ken Foray. That's the actor's name, yeah, Ken Foray from Dawn of the Dead movies. When I say movies, I mean the original, and he's in the remake as well. He's also in that pile of shit Rob Zombie's Halloween. And Leatherface in this movie is a fucking badass. And it's probably the most badass he's been. He's threatening. He's menacing. You feel tense every time he pops up on screen. The opening of the movie is pretty good. Like, you know, it's you get the news. You got the original, you know, in 1973, blah, 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 blah. You know, the event, basically going through the events of the first one. And then, you know, we find out that Sally unfortunately died in a mental hospital. And then we have a scene where a girl is like is afraid and all that. And then movie opens up with a hammer fucking hitting this girl across the head. Leatherface hits a girl across the head, and it pops up Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. And I love the way it opened up with that badass fucking kill, badass opening, you know. And then we see a little bit of what he was doing in the last movie. I feel like I'm repeating what I said in my review 8 years ago. But yeah, and we see him sewing a face together, and then that girl runs away. So you get built up tension, and we see some news reports. But I will say I do like the atmosphere of this movie. It definitely feels like Texas, once again, obviously because it takes place in Texas. But the reason I say that is because the fucking next movie, you wonder, does it even take place in Texas? But I like that, you know, we get a nice shot of the truck driving and stuff, and the couple are kind of talking and arguing. Now, I will say that I kind of found it a little bit odd how it starts off like they're talking a day, whatever. They hit an armadillo, they and all that stuff, and then they go into night and they're back into the day. I don't know, it was just weird for me. And they're like, "What happened here? Oh, some people got killed or whatever." It's like, damn. And then just the part where he's like, "Oh shit, what do we do? We hit an armadillo." I was like, "Yeah, what do we do? Oh, we put it out of its misery." And she's like, "Sorry, little guy," and smashes it and stuff like that. I found the main actress is fine for the most part. I feel like she was better near the end of the movie when she actually turns into a fucking badass. And she's like, "Yeah, come on, come get me, fuck you," and all this shit. And then you know, Leatherface starts attacking her and with this fucking badass chainsaw, and then you know she's in the river and stuff, and he chainsaws Ken Foray's character, and then she picks up a rock and starts smacking him over the head when he's in the leg and goes, "Sorry, little guy," and all that, and then he's dead. But then the movie ends with a cut into morning, and then she's in the truck, and then Ken for no, she doesn't go in a truck. She sits on a rock, and then a truck pulls up, and it's Ken Foray's character. And then the other fucker comes back, the blondie dude that was flirting with her and saying, "Yeah, make my job easier every day if I could dream about you," or something like that. And then she pulls the gun on him and shoots the fucker, and then drives away. And then we see Leatherface ending on a cliffhanger. There's multiple endings to this movie. I remember when I first watched this, I watched all of them, and I think there's one where Ken Foray comes out in a different direction. I think there is one where he actually does die. I think for the most part, the kills in this movie are fine. I think this is definitely gory, like the second one. I wouldn't say it's as gory as the second one, but I do like the gore effects. I think the girl that's afraid, "Oh, please don't go," she's acting all stupid and she's lighting up a cigarette. And she's just a fucking dumbass. I don't know. I remember just her being a fucking dumbass, and pretty much she runs away and shit, and then Leatherface comes and fucking chainsaws the shit out of her, and she's like, "Ah!" And he's like, and blood and shit like that. I do think when Leatherface first appears and of fucking nowhere, and just tries to attack the main character, and she runs away, tries to hand this motherfucking. I do think it's a pretty badass chase scene. I do think that it goes back to the roots of him chasing around in the woods, and a lot of the movie does take place there. So you get some good chase scenes. You get the characters teaming up. Ken Foray is a fucking badass. He isn't afraid to fight back. His character, I believe, was in the military or special forces or something. Because he comes behind one of the characters and fucks him up and shit like that. And I'm trying to think, did he kill him? I think he kills him, yeah. And then what's it? I like when Leatherface fucking chainsaws the guy, because I found the guy who's also in Friday the 13th Part 7, I found him fucking annoying as shit. And later on in the movie, they bring him back to the house, they hang him up, and then the little girl pulls the fucking sledgehammer and fucking smashes the fucker's face in. um, which they cut in other versions of the movie. So yeah, it was nice and gory. Um, you also do have another guy who has like a hand, like, hey, where are you folks off to? And then he has a chainsaw in the back, and Ken Foray finds that suspicious. Um, I like the dinner table scene in this. It's definitely not as good as it was in the first two. Um, it's probably the most bland set. Like I feel like the first two had amazing sets. This one is just kind of bland and shit. Um, so the woman goes back. She goes. First of all, she runs into the fucking house. Dumb bitch. Dumb bitch. Runs into the fucking house. Um, the grandfather in this movie is even more decrepit, which I think is hilarious. And you get another close up of him, I think, with his eyes moving, and it's actually even funnier than it was in the last one. Um, there's a mother figure that has a robot voice, like, "Come on, do your brother," um, and stuff like that. Like, don't be mean to your brother and stuff. Um, they tie her up. There's the usual screaming. There is the fucking scene where the blonde guy grabs her. Is like, "Oh yeah, I got you." This motherfucker here. He grabs the main girl, ties her up. Like honestly, I knew like this is the biggest problem. I think this is where this problem starts to begin with this franchise. Is the twist is predictable now because they always do it. They always do the twist, and the first movie, I think it was done great. Even though you kind of see it coming. Second one, yeah, but this one, I feel like this is the first time where it's like, okay, we get it. There's a twist. You don't need to keep fucking doing it. You know what I mean? So there is that. Um, there is one funny scene with Leatherface where he's trying to play this game, and Ken Forey's looking in the window, and it's like he spells out food and shit, and he keeps getting it wrong. And he's like, "Ugh." And I think that was pretty funny. I do like is like, oh, we got a gift for you, Junior. We got a gift for you, Junior, and they give him this fucking badass chainsaw that has Sawyer, and he points it. It's like, check it out, yeah, and he's like, it's great. Um, they called him Leatherface in the first one, and they do a bit in the second one, but they called him Bubba Sawyer in the second one, and they call him Junior in this one. Um, but look, guys, don't get me wrong. I do like this movie. I actually think it's pretty good. It's just that it's not as good as the first two. So what do I like about it? As I said, I think Leatherface is fucking brilliant. The actor that played him is brilliant. He's a lot more menacing in this movie. Not in the way, like, I do think he's still scarier in the first one. I think that's the scariest version of Leatherface. I still think that's the scariest movie. But I think that he is menacing in this movie. He genuinely is a menacing villain in this. And I think that, he doesn't seem as dumb in this one. He honestly seems like the movie is called Leatherface. And I feel like it earns the title because he really feels like he is the main villain this time around, where it's like, for me, the cook is the main villain of the first two, and Leatherface is kind of, but he's like, I don't know. I feel like Leatherface was a lot more menacing because there's a part where a guy's like, where I think, is it the blondie dude or it's the guy with the hook? He's like, "Oh, you fucking suck," and Leatherface grabs him and puts his hand in a fire, and he's like, "Ah," you know. Um, I thought that the little girl done a great job as well, where she's like, "Oh my god, he's there, he's gonna kill me," or something like that. And then there's that amazing scene where she has the ventriloquist thing and says this great quote, and like you think she's innocent, "Hello, help me," and she goes upstairs and stuff. "Are you okay?" And then she ends up fucking stabbing her. And it was great. And I do like the relationship that the family have in this, and they do care about each other, and it's different. And Leatherface is proud of her, and she even gives him a kiss. And we actually find out that it's his daughter. So it's pretty fucked up, if you ask me. Rape. Um, we do see more of the cannibal shit, like him eating stuff and that kind of stuff. But I have to say, I do really like the finale where Ken Foray goes in and shoots shoots the fucking mother and shoots a couple of them, and then the guy is there and he's gonna kill him, and then he fucking slits his throat, I believe, and then he lights the fucking guy on fire, and that's when he comes back at the end, all that, and then Ken Frey gets like letter chainsaw in the head, and then he comes back and shoots, and the woman kills Leatherface, although we see him walking with the chainsaw at the end, the leg brace, and you know the other chick, the other guy gets killed as well, shot, I believe. Uh, yeah, I'm trying to think. So yeah, and the truck blows up, and honestly, I thought that they done a great job with that. Look, what I like about the movie, I think that the soundtrack, the music is pretty good. Leatherface is menacing. I think the gore is really well done. It's still an enjoyable movie. It's just that some of the main actress isn't as interesting as the Stretch. I still think Stretch is the best character out of all these movies. I feel like the atmosphere was great. It was very well shot. I just feel like for me, didn't like. I like Ken Foray. I like Leatherface, and the family was pretty good, and they're fucking batshit crazy as well. I just feel like, and some of the acting was grand, but I just didn't like the main character that much. She wasn't that great of an actress. Same with the other guy. I think Ken Foray does a great job. The actor who plays Leatherface does a great job. The family does a great job for the most part. Um, Ken Foray, Tom Hudson, yeah. Yeah, so Kate Hodge and William Butler play the main two leads at the beginning. William Butler was in part 7 of Friday the 13th. So, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, for the most part, I think this movie is a very good movie. It's definitely my least favorite in the trilogy, but it is one of the better Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. It is a good movie. I do think that it's better than the fucking next one. Don't even get me started on how much I fucking hate the next one. Um, I think it's one of the last good ones. This and the remake, I think, are the last good ones. I do like the remake slightly more than this. But after the remake, I fucking hate the rest of them. I hate Leatherface, the 2017 one. Um, and honestly, this is a fun movie. I do think it's a pretty fun movie. I also love the teaser trailer, which is actually this scene here where it's like a lake and then like chainsaw comes up and there's electricity and Leatherface turns around. It's just badass. So, sup Sterling? Uh, yeah. And what else was I gonna say about What else was I gonna say about it? There's something else. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. I love the way Leatherface has two different chainsaws in this as well. Um, what's a weird poster? I do like the look of him in this movie as well. I like the mask and shit. Um, so yeah, and I like that he puts teeth in terror. So overall, it's a pretty orgasmic movie. I enjoy it very much. However, um, I just find like it's not the best one. So yeah, but it's an enjoyable movie, and it's a worthy addition to the franchise and trilogy. But yeah, so here is the front, the spine, the back. Ack. It's fucking short as well. It's only like 78 minutes. And like in a way it's good, but like how long is the first two actually? I'm gonna check now. Um I actually gotta get the first one on Blu-ray. I don't think you can get this one on Blu-ray. I have to check. But yeah, the first one's 101 minutes. And then this one's like 120 minutes. So yeah, like these were decent amount like that. Like the first one's pretty long, is pretty short as well. 120 minutes. How long is that? Sorry, I'm really bad at math because of my dyspraxia. I think 120 minutes. So an hour and 10. Hour and 20, okay. 70, 80. Yeah, so this would be 80 minutes. Yeah, I suppose it's not much longer than this one. So yeah, well look, these three films, honestly, this is the best we're gonna get because I fucking hate the next one. I'm gonna review the next one to get it out of the fucking way with. But oh god. So yeah, stay tuned for my next review on Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4. Yeah.